morning and welcome back. It is a glorious day and I won't waste even 5 minutes trying to get the Bonneville started. I've got a charging thing just in front of my eyes there. I'm going to hook that up to the battery and see if the bike starts, i.e. if the reason it won't start is a battery issue. If it is, then brilliant, all will be forgiven. If not, fine. Bonneville gets parked up and I'm leaving it. I'm not going to waste a glorious day trying to get it started. It almost looks like I enjoy wrenching. I enjoy working on bikes. But actually I don't. I'm no mechanic and I only enjoy riding bikes, so this will be the only shot. This I bought from Halfords. That is a portable charger with 2 jump cables that you attach. I took this to Morocco. I'm not going to lie, I didn't use it, but peace of mind to have this in case the battery died, where I could always make sure that I could start the bike. So this will be the first time I try it. I don't know the exact sequence, so I'll just put that on there and that on there. Plug it in. By the way, I'm just as angry about the bike the following morning as I was, in fact it was just yesterday, when I tried to start it and it wouldn't start. I went to Lidl this morning to get some coffee, furious at the fact that it wouldn't start. Just so angry. Okay, that's plugged on, green light there, 4 blue lights to show there's a full charge from this thing. Key in, turn, lights all coming up fine. Oh wow, that feels good. That feels great. So incredibly, leaving the bike idle for 20 minutes to try and recalibrate the ECU actually made the battery die. So leaving a bike running idle for 20 minutes on a theoretically fully charged bike, because I'd done an hour-and-a-half ride 2 days earlier, has actually killed or deflated the battery, what's the word? Gotten rid of all of the battery's charge. Fascinating. So I know there's nothing wrong with a bike. The Bonneville survives. I won't be going to a second-hand motorbike shop. Brilliant. I just realised something. I'm asking for trouble if I take the Bonneville today with almost 0 charge on the battery. It's in a bit of life support mode at the moment, needing that portable charger to start it. So I'll take the battery out, fully charge it, but I must make the most of such a beautiful day. So we'll take the car and I'm going to take you with me to a beautiful spot, south coast of England, called Rye. Welcome to Rye. This is one of my favourite spots in the southeast of England. We've parked the car down there and you can see we have to walk up a steep slope, and that's because Rye got its name from the Saxon word aig, island, because almost all of it was surrounded by water, and Rye was one of and it's hard to believe now, one of the UK's busiest ports. But all of the water receded and it just left a village, technically a town, on top of a mound here, 2 miles away from water. It's just stopped in time. I think 1,000 years ago there were registered 189 households here. That's 1,000 years ago. So it's a decent settlement. And it's still tiny. I won't go too much into detail with history, but honestly, I highly, highly recommend coming here. Everywhere you look, there's history. For example, 1377, the French came, burnt the whole town to the ground. So shortly after that, they decided, right, we need some fortifications. So they built a wall around much of the town. And about 900 years ago or so, in about 1150, Rye was part of the Cinque Port Association. This is way before the Navy, so this was one of the key towns to protect England and the seas. Which is very, very weird to think now because there is no water around here at all. Welcome to the White House. This is situated right in the heart of Rye on the High Street. And even this building, I think it's about 500 years old. Grade 2 listed building. Look at the walls. You know, it's all so beautiful. I'm just looking out onto the High Street now and I'm just thinking, I want to go in there, I want to look at that building. Just history everywhere. Every single shop, every single building, it's been so sympathetically transitioned and moved into the modern day. It's beautiful. This specific place, bakery, I think they bake everything on site. And one of the owners, to the best of my knowledge, was in New Zealand, in a kitchen working there, the baker there, and the place that she worked won the New Cafe of the Year in New Zealand. After she won the award, came back, opened this place up 6 years ago. Coffee delicious, sandwiches really good. I'm just about to tuck in to this almond croissant. You know, making videos is a really good excuse because it means I have to try the pastries for your information in case you ever decide to come here. This is Mermaid Street in Rye, and this is thought to be one of the most, if not the most, picturesque street in Rye. I could go on and on pointing out different buildings, but this is special. The Mermaid Inn, because the basement of the Mermaid Inn is 900 years old. Before the French burnt down everything, the entire town, this would have been a pub, but after they burnt it down, the only thing that survived within this pub is the basement. Current building ground up about 1420, so still about 600 years old, but just imagine if you work here. Going down, getting the casks of beer, ale, you'd be going down to a 900-year-old basement. I mean, I could point out anything, even the building behind Monika. They're all stunning. And look at the name, the house opposite. It's like it's a postcard, isn't it? Everywhere you look. And you know the census that I was mentioning about 1,000 years or so ago, and I think there were about 190 residents or buildings noted down in Rye. You know, give or take a few years, this could have been one of those 190 dwellings from all those years ago. It's so nice to come back to this part of England because it's been a long time really since we've been here, and you get a lot of different contrasting seaside kind of towns. I know this is 2 miles away from the sea, but you get a lot of different contrasts. Some have just dropped into a massive state of disrepair, but Rye is very different. It feels like a really thriving little town with so many independent little coffee shops in general. It's so rare in England to have a town like this where it's just full, you know, every single shop full of a little independent business. Privately owned, with the owner working away there, and then all of the little shops have of course had many different lives before. We went into one of the shops, clothes shop, and it was the old bank, and they'd left the solid metal bank vault door on in the shop. Such a nice little spot. The only slight issue with Rye, you really do have to make a day of it because it is so far away from everywhere, tucked away in the southeast of England, really not near anywhere at all. But just look at it. We're on the flat bit now, currently leaving, and you can see how Rye was once surrounded by water, because as soon as you get away from the tall mound of Rye, everything around it, flat as a pancake. Back at home, missed luckily rush hour back into London, and the temperature, it's dropping off quickly now, bitterly cold. I'm delighted to say, Monika, are you okay? Sorry, Monika has just dropped a whole load of tomato pasta. So I'll wrap this up quickly. I'm delighted to say the Bonneville, put the battery back in, I almost feel selfish not helping Monika. She's running to change the clothes. She's dropped tomato sauce on. The Bonneville started first time, put the battery back in, fired it up, started first time. I just need to give it a run to see if the ECU's recalibrated, but all I care about is the fact that it runs. I've taken off the tank so I'll de-badge it, put on the lovely badges from Canada, and then I'm done. Thank you so much everyone for coming along. I hope you have a brilliant week all, and I'll see you all in the next one. One more thing I almost forgot. We've just become addicted to a new show. It's a James Bond theme series, Road to a Million. Highly, highly recommend it. Addictive watching. Amazon Prime. Check it out everyone. Have a good one.